or bust down
Let me ask
Cuban
you a
links?
question. Since you're
Answer
so
my
gangster,
question.
Since you're so
I'm
gangster,
from Ferguson. I answer. How many people in your neighborhood dress like you? How many rap videos have you watched? Exactly.
How many?
Culture. That's what I am. I lived it. They're rapping about my lifestyle. You a fucking joke. And you trying to vulture from it.
Since you're
and come Sunday, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get hit with a whole bunch of culture. And your whole jawline going to shift. That long jawline, probably from PEDs.
Yes. Big Baby JTV, man. Start off with a like, road to 1K. And join the Patreon if you like, man. We release it early. We have fun over there, and there's exclusive content. But let's get into it, man. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, right? Tyron versus Jake Paul, right? I'm just going to start us off by saying I'm biased. I do not like Jake Paul at all, right? But his last fight versus Ben Askren, I predicted that Jake would beat Ben Askren, right? I predicted that Dustin Poirier would beat Conor McGregor, right? And I predicted that Floyd Mayweather would beat Logan Paul, right? I'm correct. And this time, I'm predicting that Tyron Woodley is going to win versus Jake Paul. It's not going to be a knockout, though. It's not going to be a knockout. It's going to be a decision. And I think that it's going to be a master class. And I'll tell you why. I'm not saying that Tyron Woodley is an elite striker / boxer. No, this would be his boxing debut, right? I'm not saying that Jake can't box, because Jake can box, right? Jake can box. You know, he's essentially an amateur fighter. He's at the beginning of his boxing career, right? And what he's doing is very smart. Is he's basically making tune-up fights and marketing them to being full pay-per-view fights, right? And what we have to give him respect for is that he's able to market these fights in a way that is so attractive that these are getting shown as pay-per-views, right? But what happens typically with a lot of boxers, especially when they start their careers, they usually get a lot of tune-up fights, meaning they'll fight guys who have a record of like 7-10, right? Guys who have records of like 25-60, right? Like guys who are consistent losers, guys who are below their skill set. I'll give you an easy example of this, right? Tyson Fury's brother, Tommy Fury, his first fight was against a dude who had a record of 10 wins and 100 losses. That was Tommy Fury's first fight. Okay? So this is what's happening. Obviously, that fight was not shown anywhere, and it's kind of airways or pay-per-view. But what's happening with Jake Paul is he's fighting guys who are not qualified to be in the ring with him. Okay? He's fighting Nate Robinson, the basketball player who barely trained for the camp. He's fighting Ben Askren, a dude who basically retired from MMA and couldn't necessarily strike. He was a wrestler. He's fighting Tyron Woodley, who's on a 3-fight losing streak, right? And who is 39 years old, right? So he's fighting guys who are essentially not in their prime, guys who are not boxers. Okay, he's never fought an actual boxer, even an amateur boxer. No, he's fighting MMA wrestlers, MMA guys, YouTubers, and basketball players. Like, what? And it's not a coincidence that he's fighting guys who are older. Of course he's going to fight guys who are older. Okay, he's not going to fight guys who are in their physical prime, right? And this is why I have to put a little bit of respect on Logan's name, because Logan Paul actually went in the ring with Floyd Mayweather and lasted the full 8 rounds, which is more impressive than what Jake is going to try to do against Tyron Woodley, right? See, the difference is here. Why I'm taking Woodley to win the decision is because Woodley is not in his head no more, okay? If Woodley was mentally strong or at least dedicated, he would still be welterweight champ right now. He would beat Usman. It sounds crazy to some of y'all, but he would beat Usman. He would beat Vicente Luque. He would even beat Colby Covington. but Gilbert Burns as well. But he lost to these guys, even admittedly in interviews, because he wasn't focused, because he wasn't dedicated to the sport, man. You know what I'm saying? It's it's very simple in the fight game. You have to be motivated and focused, and he is a lot more motivated and focused, especially during that press conference where Jake Steen was insulting his own mother, was insulting Woodley's mom, okay? And here's something that I want y'all to understand, okay? After that whole altercation happened, which I believe was planned and staged by Jake because Jake wants to sell tickets and pay-per-views, what happened is that Woodley got on the phone with Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd, no matter what you say about Floyd, he is one of the most mentally tough fighters of all time, because every single fight he's gone in, they expect him to lose. They want him to lose, but he keeps winning. Okay? So I think Tyron Woodley is going to win. I think it's going to be a split decision. I think Jake is going to do really, really well, especially in the first 2 rounds. He might gas out, but in the first 2 rounds, it's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be a great fight. Let me know what y'all think about the fight. Give me y'all predictions. Big Baby JTV. We out.